Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Patient Players Podcast. Thank you for joining us this fine October the 12th. This is episode 53, and I am your host, Daniel, joined by my wonderful co-host, Jordan. How you doing, Jordan?
Hello. Each day is a day closer to the day of spoop.
Oh, yes, we slowly approach the spoopy day. This is indeed the spoopy month, after all.
Mm-hmm.
How could I forget?
Are we going to be recording on spoop day?
It's
a
a
Saturday, isn't it?
We'll have to figure that out. There's
Interesting.
either Saturday or Sunday is our live recordings. If you did not know this, dear listener, hearing our wonderful, luscious, spoopy voices, that we do our live recordings on the weekends. And if you have joined us on the live recording chat, then you know indeed that we do that because you're here. If you're interested in that, you can head over to patientplayers.com/social and find any link you could desire on how to listen or view these beautiful faces and beautiful voices. Welcome to the podcast. Here we like to talk about video games. We like to talk about gaming in the slow lane. We're going to be talking about games that we like to play over and over again, games that have gotten updates, games that are cheap or free, or that we got good deals on. That's what you're going to hear about today. Welcome.
Dude, I'm tired. I'm tired, Daniel. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just been a long weekend.
It's been a long weekend. What's been going on in this fine weekend?
Oh, well, had a date day on Saturday.
Uh-huh.
Sunday had to wake up early to go run some tech stuff. But yeah, does caffeine work on you?
Does caffeine work on me? I'd say it does.
That's nice.
I noticed when I've had it.
I don't think it works on me, which is very sad, because some people, they can rely on the cheat of coffee when they're sleepy boys. I had it was a small cup. It was maybe about yay high. I don't know what you would call that, and just like a styrofoam cup,
finger length.
It was about finger length high of what I was told was the 7th strongest coffee in the world. And I didn't really feel anything, and I was like, great, this'll get me pumped up for the day. And that was only like 4 or 5 hours ago. I don't know how long the lifespan of coffee is, what the half-life of coffee is.
Is that a pancreas thing?
What, sleepy or coffee resilience?
The caffeine, not being affected by caffeine, I'm wondering.
I don't know. I've never heard that.
Huh. I was always upset growing up because I was a pretty energetic kid. I mean, I'm a pretty energetic adult, you know that, but I was also a pretty energetic kid. And so people would always make the joke of like, oh, don't let Daniel have that soda or whatever. The caffeine's going to make him crazy. But it never really affected me. I was always fine. I never felt any different. I never really acted any different. And I could just like go to sleep after drinking a bunch of soda at a party or whatever.
Oh, wow.
And I was very proud of that fact. And I would still say the same thing. Like, I don't think any drinks besides coffee change my mood or my feeling at all. I can still like sleep fine and all that stuff. But yeah, if I'm dragging, I will definitely I'll do some coffee, as they say, when the cool kids say.
Wait, so the coffee works on you still, but not soda? Are those different kind of caffeines?
I think it's different amounts. I've also never had an energy drink. I imagine that would probably also affect me if coffee does.
Yeah,
it's in the dosage.
I don't trust energy drinks. They scare me.
Man, there's like a phase. I don't know if everyone went through this phase, but I went through this phase in high school where like every guy friend in high school I knew was like obsessed with energy drinks.
I also had that phase of my friends, like not me, but my friends.
Yeah, and it was really weird. And then like, most of them are fine, but there was like at least one guy that I had heard of that had like he had like a heart condition that's like an effect on the rest of his life. Yeah, there's a guy
because of the drinks.
Yeah, it was one of my friends. He was in a band, and one of his bandmates had it wasn't a heart attack, it was some other condition, but he had to go to the hospital, and now he like can't do heavy exercise for the rest of his life.
Oh my goodness.
And it was because he was just hopped up on energy drinks all the time. And,
wow.
And I was like, that's scary that people are doing this to themselves so early. And like, what's up with high school and energy drinks, guys? Like, just chill.
I thought the same thing. Like, it would just be their like casual beverage. Like, let's just go to the gas station and grab like a Monster energy drink. And I'm like, why? I'm not tired. I don't need energy right now.
when I was studying computer science in college, and there was one particular semester where there was a lab set up for one class, and only that class got to use the computer lab. So we kind of made it our own space. We had a couch in there and like a mini fridge and all that. And the mini fridge would just constantly have dozens of energy drinks in it. And I was like, what are you got? You guys don't need to drink energy drinks like half of the day.
Weird.
It's very strange.
That's very strange. Anyways, that's not video games. I just thought I would get your opinion on caffeine and, you know, the world of caffeine.
I'm a fan of utilizing it. I'm not a fan of dependency. I've had too many people in my life that just
absolutely. And that's kind of been the main thing where I'm like, I don't want to drink coffee because then, oh no, I'll become dependent on it. But today I was like, I was not feeling it. So I was like, I'll try a glass or a cup to see what it does. And I think it worked. I don't know. Okay. I was still like, my eyes were still like doing the thing where they like start to close a little bit, and I'd have to like shake.
How tired were you?
I got like 7 hours of sleep and everything. But
what?
The sleep problem is a diabetic thing where, you know, I have a synthroid or not synthroid. I have a thyroid problem because of the diabetes, and the thyroid is your, you know, metabolism, your sleepiness. So
yeah, all that stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe next time I need to do a double dose of that coffee.
You go from, because like you have to build up a tolerance to it, right? Like the people who go for the super strong coffee are the people who drink coffee every day. And then it's like if you go from not drinking coffee to like a double dose of the super strong espresso, like you're gonna die.
It'll work though, for the time span that I am alive.
It'll be the most awake 2 hours of your life.
I'll be hashtag woke.
And then you will sleep the long sleep.
Oh, no. Oh, anyways, getting to games.
Wait, before we get to games, actually, speaking of sleep, I have the next installment in the great saga of the Shikibutan.
Oh, dude, it's been so long since the Shikibutan has come up.
Yeah, I've just been sleeping on the floor ever since then. Like that didn't change. I still have the Shikibutan and we sleep on the floor still, and it's been great, except for like when you wake up in the morning, you feel great. You're like, oh, this is awesome. But as you're falling asleep, if you want to lay on your side or anything, there's really very little padding between you and the floor. There's about 3 inches of padding. And so it is a little uncomfortable to fall asleep in certain positions. And I was complaining about that to this friend of mine who originally suggested the Shikibutan in the first place, who he was saying, oh, you know what, me and my wife, we actually upgraded. And he was showing me this one he upgraded to. So this week I upgraded and I bought a new Shikibutan that is 5 inches of padding, and it's great. I slept on it for the first time last night and it felt wonderful. Still on the floor, still very stable. My back still feels good in the morning. But
wow, so you got, is that an extra 2 inches of fluff? Is that it? That's your upgrade?
Well, it's also a different material. So the first one was just like a $150 roll-up one on Amazon, $150. This one's like meant for a sleeping mattress, and it was 2 or 3 times more expensive. And then we had it shipped from the store, which was in California, so the shipping was like a third of the cost. But we got it, and little did we realize that when it says like super all natural organic wool and cotton, that, man, when you pull that thing out of a box after shipping from California all week, when they say organic wool, they mean
like there's a sheep in the box.
You can still smell the llama that this thing came off of, or the goat, or whatever it is, but boy, it immediately made our bedroom smell like a petting zoo.
What is a non-organic material?
Oh, it's like treated. It's like it still comes from the same animal, but
okay,
they like would treat it with all sorts of chemicals. It's not like the artificial llamas over here.
Yeah, this comes from our mech llamas. This is our mech wool.
Honestly, if they had that though, I would want to try it. That sounds awesome.
I'm just thinking of like the steel sponge, you know, that you use on dishes, whatever that's called.
Steel wool.
Steel wool. Yeah, there you go. Steel wool. Yeah, try sleeping on that.
It's just a bed of steel wool with like spikes on the end.
Oh my goodness. A bed for robots.
Bed for the hardcore. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyways, if you want part 1 of Daniel's Shikibutan adventure, that's episode 21.
Wow, it's been that long.
Episode 21, titled The Cheeky Futon.
Did you know? So this is episode 53, right? That means there have been more episodes since the Shikibutan than there were before it. That is
that's cool.
Crazy.
Yeah.
We've made it so long.
I'm reading the rest of our titles. I've missed these hilarious titles we come up with. Birth by serial fragmentation, it will always be a highlight in my heart.
Which is funny because we didn't even come up with that, and it's not even as ridiculous as the name we were making fun of.
Oh, wait. Is that... Where did that even come from? I don't remember.
That was Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, my goodness. Yikes.
Dream drop distance, birth by sleep, all that fun stuff.
Anyways, I wonder what this episode's going to be named.
I don't know. Let's find out. Do you want to talk about some video games?
Yeah.
I have a game to talk about. Okay, once I start talking, I'm just gonna keep talking.
Oh no, it's one of those things.
Yeah. Do we want to just? I think maybe we just start with that. Just let the listeners get it all.
Safe. I would think we would need to end with that when we're like pressed for time, so that you have like a stopping point. Like, can you visualize in your mind a stopping point if you start right now?
I literally have my thoughts bulleted out.
Oh, okay, perfect. I'm ready. Yeah.
Okay. So Jordan, have you heard of a little something that we talked about last week called Genshin Impact?
No, Daniel, I don't recognize that name at all. Please remind me what Genshin Impact is.
Genshin Impact is a video game that I had literally just downloaded while we were getting ready to record last week. I had not played it. And we did talk a little bit about it because we had an email about it last week. But it is a free-to-play anime art style video game that is very fun. And I'm going to tell you about it because I've played almost nothing but Genshin Impact all week.
I have a question real quick. Yes. Initially, before you had played it, you described it to me as Breath of the Weeaboo.
That's true.
Does that still hold up? After having played it,
100%.
Okay,
absolutely 100%,
cool.
110% actually.
Whoa! Oh my word! More so.
It was more like Breath of the Wild than I had even initially thought.
Oh my goodness!
So this game, you play it like Breath of the Wild. You climb mountains. There's a big, beautiful open world landscape that looks like just gorgeous art style everywhere you look. You have a sword and you slash at things, and you are exploring the world to find treasure chests, to find hidden puzzles that you solve and are rewarded for solving. It's so Breath of the Wild. You lose stamina climbing or swimming or fighting, and then it comes back. Some of the gyms and the challenges you're solving out in the world will increase your stamina or increase your power in other ways. You can get different weapons that do different things. But here's where it starts to diverge a little bit, is that
it's not a walking simulator.
Breath of the Wild's a good video game. It's fun to explore worlds and find rewarding things. So here's where it differs a couple different ways. The entire storyline is voice acted, which is really cool.
Oh, that is nice.
It's actually I like the voices a lot. It's a little weird because I've watched a lot of anime, especially recently with the quarantine, and I'm recognizing a lot of the voice actors, and it's tripping me up a little bit because I know other characters that they play. But that's a problem common in all English voiced anime. So that's not anything to do with this game. That's just there's not a lot of people out there. So the whole thing's voice acted, and the other areas that is different, rather than just playing a character that uses different weapons like Link in The Legend of Zelda, you have a bunch of different characters you can play. The game gives you 4 characters. They each have their own special ability.
Oh, that's very kind of it. It gives you 4 to start off with?
Yes.
Very nice.
So you start off with 1, and through the course of the first several missions of the game, you end up with a team of 4 characters that all have different elemental abilities and weapons. So you might have a sword, a bow. There are more than those 4 characters. Other characters that have like spears or great swords or magic books that do spells, and you are only playing one at a time, but you are rapidly switching between them. At a push of a button, your model just switches, and you're playing the new character now. And so you're encouraged to do that in combat. You're encouraged to do combos. So you might go up against a monster where you first use a fire ability to set them on fire, and then you switch to a lightning character and you light up that fire in a big explosion.
Wow, so it's almost as if the characters are the game's weapons.
True, but each character also has a different weapon type. So my fire guy who uses a sword can actually use the same sword as my ice guy who uses a sword. But
you say can or can't?
That he can.
Oh,
it's
okay.
the same sword. I
can
equip it to one or the other, and they have different stats. The second way it deviates a lot from Breath of the Wild is that there are stats, and boy, are there stats. In Breath of the Wild, it was kind of cool in that you really only had health and stamina, and everything else was dependent on your weapon, which would break and you get a new one. And you kind of jumped between a lot of different weapons. But in this game, your character has a level. Every single character has their own individual level. Your weapons themselves have levels that you increase by feeding other weapons into them. You can also equip artifacts onto your character, which are like armor slots, and those have levels, and you feed other artifacts into the artifacts to make them stronger.
I guess they kind of had to add all this, didn't they, for it to be a gacha game, or else I assume you get these items from random loot tables.
You get these items just by playing the game. So if you've been playing, let's say you play for like 10 minutes, you will probably walk over to a mountain, climb up it to find a gem that gives you extra power, and then looking over the hill, you see two groups of enemies, each of them guarding a chest. So you go and defeat the enemies, and when you open those chests, that's where you're getting a lot of these items, right? So you might get, like, from one chest some money, 3 or 4 different low quality weapons, maybe a high quality weapon, a high quality artifact. And then if you aren't going to use those items, you can feed them into the existing items that you have to make them stronger. So it makes every piece of loot you pick up valuable in one way or another, because as you pick them up, even if you're not going to use them, it's basically like experience points for your other items.
Okay.
On top of all of this is a single leveling bar called your adventuring rank. So this is what determines kind of where you are at in the game, right? So I could have a level 30 character, but if my adventuring rank is only 19, then I'm prevented from going to certain places in the game and accomplishing certain quests. So it's like an overall cap. Now, here's where I'm going to break the game down into a couple different layers, because it has to be this way. This is where it gets a little nuts.
It has to be this way? What does that mean?
To be understandable at all. I still don't think it's going to be understandable hearing it one time, but just to give you a sample of this. Now, before I go any further, I want to be clear. Everything I just described is the game, and that is fun, and I think you should play it, and I think you would enjoy it from everything I just described, and I think a lot of people would enjoy it. So it's free, it's on phones, it's on PC, and it's on PS4 right now. So try it. If you like it, you don't have to go any deeper than that. That's everything. It'll be great. Past that point, here's where it gets a little weird. They use that adventuring XP as a boundary to certain parts of the game, right? So I literally can't progress the story of the game right now because I'm not a high enough adventuring rank. So I need to go.
You got to grind?
Well, I got to do side quests, yes, and I have to grind some of the random challenges, right? So maybe I go to a place I've been to before and fight a new group of enemies, and I get some experience points from that, right? But they gate this in a free-to-play energy-like mechanic, and that the repeatable challenges that give you experience points cost a currency called resin, original resin. I'm going to give you the actual name of all these things because it just amplifies how weird this all is. They all have special names for everything. So your energy system is called original resin, and that refills over time. So you can't just repeat them over and over again. After you've repeated the thing that gives you experience 5 or 6 times, you have to wait. Now you can keep playing the game. You can keep finding treasure chests, getting loot, exploring the world, finding collectibles. You just can't do these repeatable quests that give you experience points. And you can even do the side quests the game gives you. So you can still progress to some point. But if you've done all the story quests and all the side quests and all of your repeatable events, there's no way to get your adventure rank higher for the time being. You have to wait.
Like wait, like just a day?
Yeah. It's like you get like you refill your resin in like 16 hours, I think. And you can get 5 or 6 events out of a single refill.
Huh. Okay.
And of course, they give you the option to pay to get like a boost of that, right?
Yeah,
so that's one,
of course.
That's one free-to-play mechanic, is that they cap you with this adventure level, right? This is like your cap of your progression. Then they do have daily quests though. So beyond just this energy mechanic, there are also quests that come in every day, and those also give you adventure XP. So if you play a little bit every day, you can actually progress your adventure XP quite far. Now, that's the first free-to-play layer, is like this energy mechanic. The second free-to-play layer is you have these two different kinds of premium currencies, and a lot of different games will do this, where you have a premium currency that you can only buy, and then if you wish to, you can convert that into the currency that you actually spend. And they also give you opportunities to earn that in the world by doing certain challenges. So it's like a pseudo premium currency. And the reason they do that is, in the future, if they ever wanted to release an item that you had to physically pay money for, they could restrict it to the first currency.
Right.
But as of right now, nothing in the game is only purchasable by that first currency.
Oh,
everything in the game.
The only purpose for that right now is just converting it to money?
Correct.
Oh, or sorry, what is it called? Resin?
No. The premium only currency is called the Genesis Crystal.
What? I thought it was like, okay, sure.
No,
okay.
You're thinking of the energy. The energy is called original resin. The first premium currency is called the Genesis Crystal, and you can convert
that's your money.
And you can convert that into a Prima Gem.
So you can't buy Prima Gems.
You can't buy Prima Gems. You convert crystals into Prima Gems. You can also get Prima Gems by playing the game. Like every time I open a treasure box, I might get like 2 Prima Gems or something.
What do you use to buy like the random people chance?
So this is what you use Prima Gems for. What you can use Prima Gems for is a number of things, like refilling your resin, your energy. But one of the things you can do is you can buy these items called fates. There are 2 of them. And these are basically what let you do loot box rolls. And these loot boxes will have weapons, different weapons of different strengths, and characters. And the characters are obviously much more rare than the weapons. And so you can get new characters to add to your party. You can only ever have 4 at a time, but you can add different characters who use different weapons. They have different special abilities. They have different elements, stuff like that. And there's a type of one of the fates called an acquaint fate is like it's like your normal everyday loot box that has all the normal stuff the game has. If they have an event going on, you can only buy the event loot box with an intertwined fate. They both cost the same amount, but when you go buy them, you have to know which one you want to buy.
So you can still choose to not buy an event one?
Yes, because the drop rates are different, and maybe you don't want the event drop rates. Maybe you want the original ones.
Yeah, of course.
So you have your Genesis crystals, which you've turned into Prima Gems, and then you've turned those into fates. Now you get to do your random roll that are called wishes. The loot boxes are called wishes. So I take my fate.
I thought they were intertwined something. Or
no, those are the things that you can then exchange for a wish.
Okay.
So
I need I need an infographic for all this.
I told you it was going deep
with the arrows.
You buy your crystal, you get your Prima Gems, you convert it to Prima Gems, you pay Prima Gems to get your fate, and then you exchange your fate for a wish. And that's your actual loot box. You get an item out of that. You have your wish now. All right.
Yes, I got my wish finally.
And you can do all of that without actually buying the crystals. You can do that just with the currency the game gives you. And in fact, honestly, I think I did the math on it, and you can roll the loot box about it's pretty expensive. If you just buy one, I think it's like $2.75 or something, or it's over $2.50.
Good
right?
night.
But they're very generous with this currency. Just with the stuff I've gotten from playing this week, I've already rolled, I think, about 50 times.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah. I think a lot of that was like promotional stuff from the game launching. They gave away a lot of free stuff.
Yeah.
But I am getting them at a pretty good rate. Now, at that point, you can play the game, you can do all that stuff for free, and you are invested in Genshin Impact. You can beat the whole game and have fun, and you can even unlock new characters slowly, especially if you're lucky with the rolls, right? Now, there are 2 additional layers I'm going to mention, but we've been talking about this forever, so I'm going to go fast.
Oh, thank goodness. I found an infographic so I can follow along better. Someone on the subreddit made a beautiful looking like diagram tree of the Genesis Crystal, Prima Gem, Acquaint Fate?
Fate. Yeah.
Acquaint Fate, Intertwined Fate, Stardust, Star Glitter.
Oh, I'm not going to talk about the Stardust and Star Glitter. That stuff, you figure that out on your own.
Okay,
that's a different
great.
System.
And then Mora, Amino Sigil, and Geo Sigil.
Let me get there.
But those are what you're getting to now?
No. Those are currencies in the game, but those aren't like, they don't have anything to do with free to play mechanics. Those are just currencies in the game.
Oh, okay, I see.
So, if everything I'm about to tell you intimidates you, ignore it, because you can just play the game ignoring everything else from here on.
And I think that's what Keaton said that he's been doing. He's like ignoring all the premium stuff.
Yes. Now, if you go in and just buy Genesis crystals, like I said, it's about like two almost $3 per roll of these wishes, right? There's an alternative though. You can spend $5 and get something called the Blessing of the Welkin Moon. And if you have the Blessing of the Welkin Moon, it gives you for 1 month, it gives you an upfront amount equal to $5 worth of crystals. So it gives you all $5 worth of crystals right away. But then it also sets you up on a recurring basis every day to get a small amount of Primogems.
Oh, so I've seen this before. It's like a paid login bonus.
Yes.
So you don't get them unless you log in.
Right. So it's like a subscription for $5 a month. But if you count the total number of gems and crystals they give you together, it's not quite enough, but it's almost enough for 20 loot boxes, basically, over the course of a month.
Okay.
So every day you log in, you're getting a little over half of a loot box. Wait, my math is wrong. So it must be more than 20. But either way, you're getting 90 Primogems every day, and it's 160 to open a box. So you're getting a little over half of a box every day just by logging in.
Okay.
In addition to the daily quest rewards, in addition to all that stuff, right?
And how many does the $5 worth give you at the beginning?
It gives you 300 at the beginning.
Oh, geez.
And then you get
how many boxes worth is that?
It's 160 for a box. So $5 gets you not even 2 boxes.
160. It gives you 2 boxes. 160 times 2 is
320.
320, and you said it gives you 500.
It gives you 300. $5 gets you 300.
Oh, it gives you 3. Oh my word. Okay, so on the after you get like the first day afterwards, you get that extra 90. That's your second.
Yes. That's your second box. Yes.
Oh my word. Okay.
Yes.
And then it's every other day after that.
Every other day for a month, you get 90 every day. Yes.
But that's only assuming that you only spend these on the boxes, right? Because you said there are other uses for these.
Yeah, you can refill your energy, right? Mm-hmm. That's another way you can do it. Then there's one more layer.
Okay, good.
So they're making money on the energy system. They're making money on these loot boxes, right? And then the subscription service to get the loot boxes. They also have a battle pass.
Oh.
Which I have not played a game with a battle pass very much before, but I knew how they work. But if you don't know how they work, basically for a month, they have a battle pass, and this is the kind of battle pass where there's a free tier and a paid tier. So anyone playing the game is on this battle pass, and that means that you are earning experience by playing the game, and if you get enough of it, you unlock rewards at certain tiers. And then if you choose to, you can purchase levels on the battle pass to get some of the later rewards faster.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So you can spend your gems on that if you want to. Then they have something called the Gnostic Hymn, which is the premium tier of the battle pass, which means you're still leveling it up the same speed, and you can still choose to purchase levels if you want to. But now every time you unlock something, you're actually unlocking 2 things. You're unlocking like a premium tier of stuff at the same time.
Very nice. Yep.
And that's $10 a month. I'm done talking about all of the free-to-play mechanics in this game, but it's a fantastic game. I've played it all week. I'm going to keep playing it. I love being in that world and playing it, but it is a little overwhelming when you open the menus and you're like, all right, was I farming experience to upgrade my weapons, so I need the material that I get from the battle pass, which I can pay gems for, or should I save those gems to get a character? It's a lot when they add all of these different layers on top of each other.
Well, that was fun. But you're liking it.
I am liking it. The only other thing I wanted to say that had nothing to do with free-to-play mechanics is that the cross save is awesome. Like, I can't tell you, it honestly feels like I'm playing it on Switch, because when I want to play it on a big screen, I just play it on my PC. And when I want to play it in bed or on the go, I just pull up on my phone and play it. Until last night, I did not have significant frustration with the phone controls. Mm-hmm. Last night, I had a jumping, climbing event where I got to the top of a very difficult tower, and then my thumb hit the dash button on accident, and I dashed off of the tower.
Oh no,
that was frustrating. This game is so much Breath of the Wild. They do give you a glider though, so you can just like float down. But I had to redo the climbing, and that was frustrating. But I really like it on the phone. I even have an old iPhone that it works really well on. I have like an iPhone 8 or something.
Wow.
Like that. So
can't believe they got that to work so well.
2 big complaints though. The cross save does not work on PS4.
That sounds about right. That sounds like Sony. Yep.
I downloaded the entire game on PS4, launched it, and then it didn't give me a login. It just started the game and had me playing a new character, and I was really mad about that. And then the other thing is that there's no way to do the controller support is really poorly implemented. It's not there at all on the phone. You can't do controller support. You have to use the touchscreen controls.
And I was really bummed about that. I was texting you and I said, if I would love to be able to, because I have an Elite 2 Xbox controller, which can connect to the phone, and I can play like Minecraft on a controller on my phone.
Yeah.
So I wanted to play this game like on the go because it's not on Switch yet. They said it's coming to Switch eventually. And so I was really looking forward to that. And nope, not a thing.
If you are interested, I don't know if they're going to do cross save on the Switch, but you might make an account right now just because with the launch window, they're giving away a lot of stuff. So you can collect all those rewards right now. Some of them you have to get to a certain level before they give you. So you will have to play a little bit. It's weird. If you want to wait, you'll be fine.
Makes sense.
The last thing I'll say on controller support is that it's not even great on PC. So when you...
Oh no, what?
When you launch the game, the controller doesn't work. You have to get into the game, open the settings menu, go to control type and drop down to controller, and then it's only controller support. There is no keyboard. You can't go back and forth fluidly. You have to change it in the settings menu.
Okay.
And it resets every time you start the game. So you have to go change controller support every time.
What?
And this next thing I'm going to say might be my worst criticism of the
That's a stink
entire
turd,
game.
dude. That's a stink turd right there.
Genshin stink turd right there.
Oh my word. Like, have you tried playing on PC, like with mouse? Like maybe that's the way they want you to play, or?
I haven't. I'm sure I could. It doesn't seem like it would be that different. I just enjoy kind of reclining when I'm playing those kinds of games. So I like using the controller, but I'll try it out and I'll let you know. The archery seems like it would be really easy with the mouse and keyboard. And you can do a lot of damage if you can hit headshots.
Okay.
Here's the last little stink turd about controller support. It uses the Japanese standard for the confirm and back buttons, and there's no way to change it.
Oh, good.
So
that's not a big deal.
B is confirm on the Xbox, and A is back. And I can't tell you how many times I wanted to like hit like, oh, I want to click on that option. Oh, I'm backed out of the menu. Now I need to go back in again. And like, it took me a long time to get used to. It's kind of frustrating.
And just swapping them would be too confusing for like the buttons in the game.
Oh, you're saying like swapping them on a hardware level on the PC?
Yeah, because you have an Elite controller, so you can just use the software to swap them.
Yeah, I hadn't thought through doing it that way. It does make sense when it lines up with the phone controls, though, because the button, the B button equivalent, the dash button, is on the right side, and then the jump, the A button, is in the middle. So it would be weird to switch them up on one platform and not another.
Man, so you have to hit A to go back in menus? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh wow, that is. Ugh.
Yeah. A is the cancel option, B is the go forward. And it sucks when you're navigating menus where you might accidentally spend like $5 on something.
You're kind of just convincing me not to play this with a controller at this point.
Sure. I think you should play it. And I mean, you didn't like the gameplay loop of Breath of the Wild, and that is what this game very much is. It's, oh, what's this cool thing over here? I'm going to fight these monsters. I'm going to get this loot. But if you didn't like things about Breath of the Wild, like the weapon durability and that there was no progress, there was no level ups, like this stuff has level up bars out the wazoo. It has progress that you're making, and like your weapons are never going to die. So
that's nice.
You never feel like you're losing progress. So maybe you like it better.
Interesting. Wow. Genshin Impact.
That's basically all I played all week. I played some Heroes of the Storm, but that's basically just playing Genshin Impact anytime I had a chance to play games.
Well, that's pretty neat. Now, I gotta ask, did you buy the $5 thing that you were talking about for a month?
That is the only thing I've spent money on. I have purchased the Blessing of the Welkin Moon because I figured I liked this game a lot and I would throw $5 at it. And the fact that they're willing to give me
$5 for a month, that's fine.
I think if you total up the number of gems compared to buying them outright, I think it ends up being like $30, $50 worth. Like it's a big amount that they give you.
Well, that's cool. How much is the battle pass?
$10 if you want the premium rewards.
Okay.
And they have an option where you get that and it automatically levels you up to level 10 out of 50, and that's $20. I think it's like a second thing.
Okay. Well, you know what? Speaking of battle passes, Daniel. I actually bought a battle pass this month.
You bought a battle pass? What are you?
I think this is the first battle pass I've ever bought in any game. But due to the free-to-play nature of Rocket League recently.
Oh.
I've been playing that here and there from time to time, and I've been loving it. So I thought I'd give the Battle Pass a try. And I was able to use my Epic coupon to...
Really?
It wasn't all free because I think there was like a spin limit. You know, it'd be like over 15. So I had to buy like a bigger bundle, but I had like 10 taken off of that.
Yeah.
So that's how I use my coupon I get for getting the game for free. Which is still a thing. If you get Rocket League on Epic Games right now, guys, they give you a $10 coupon.
I forgot about that. The negative $10 price tag on Rocket League.
Yep. So, dude, Rocket League is so much fun. I have forgotten how exhilarating it is to kick a ball with a car. And the crossplay is amazing across everything. You know, PS4, PC, Nintendo Switch. At least that's the one. That's the only things I have. But everything, all my items, everything getting synced across anything.
So does that mean your battle pass is synced when you bought it through Epic?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I bought it on Epic, deleted the game immediately, went back to playing on Steam and Switch, and
that seems illegal.
My pass is battling up now.
That's crazy.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that game's really fun.
I thought about that when I bought my subscription service thing, because I know that anything you buy through a phone app, the store holder is taking a cut of. And I was like, I don't want Apple taking no 30% of my Genshin Impact dollars. So I waited until I could log in on PC, and I bought it on PC.
No way.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I bought it on PC specifically so that I would get the rewards, but not through the Apple Store.
Oh my goodness, dude. That's hilarious. Well, I'm sure they're very grateful for your extra 30% that you gave them. Go.
I'm sure they're not making just hands over fists money worth of.
That's true.
All these microtransactions that are possible. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. But we should play Rocket League sometime.
I would be super down to play some Rocket League. I hope you know I'm not like good at it. I mean, you
I'm
have
not.
This mentality of me of being amazing at everything I do.
Well, look, it's a fun game, and more importantly, we can play on a team. That's all I need to play a game with you. I don't care how good you are, as long as you're on my team.
But what if I'm horrible?
And then who cares? I don't care. I play video games to have fun. I think people have forgotten that over the years, that people play games to have fun. But I love how when you play on the Switch version, it gives you a Mario Bros car and a Luigi car and a Samus looking car that you can only get on the Switch versions. But because it's crossplay, then anyone on other consoles can see the car that I'm using, and they can be like, oh, he's playing on Switch, obviously, because he's got the Mario car.
Once it's unlocked, can you use it other places?
No, it just doesn't show up in your items in other places.
Oh my goodness, I'm done. I knew I was done about Genshin, but real quick about that thing.
Yeah.
They have a reward if you log in on PS4. You get a special color glider. Like your glider is your set of wings that you have.
Right.
So when you jump off a cliff, you pop out these wings and you can fly. They have a really cool looking PS4 exclusive one, but because there's no cross save, there's no way for me to get it. Even though I logged in on PS4, I can't get it in my other copies of the game. There's no physical way for me to get these wings, and it bugs me.
That is so annoying.
I'm sorry.
Like, surely I'm Googling it now.
Yeah, I mean, look at they
and
look
they're
really
like,
cool.
They said does not support it.
Yeah, I Googled it. There's just no way to get the special wings.
But like I'm saying, like even in the future, maybe one day they'll add cross functionality, but it looks like it's just not a thing.
And that makes me concerned for the Switch version, because like if it comes out on Switch and I can't bring over my progress, there's zero reason for me to download that game, because I'm not playing all of this stuff again, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. It makes sense.
Very weird. Sorry, back to Rocket League. So is that the same situation there? Like even if I've unlocked it here, I can't take it other places. I have to be playing on Switch to use it.
Yeah, well, just for those two items, because Nintendo wants their Nintendo franchise on their Nintendo console, so they don't want you playing as Samus on an Xbox or a PS4. Which I mean, I don't care. I think I like it that way in this scenario, because first off, I didn't pay extra money for them. It's literally just you have the game on Switch. Here's some Switch themed cars, and so people
just downloaded it on Switch this week because it's free.
Oh yeah, nice, dude. I forgot that it's free on Switch. Oh my word, that's so cool. They do. I like this. They prioritize frame rate over graphics. So while it may look a little bit like butts on Switch, it runs so smooth, and like
That sounds great.
I prefer that, absolutely. It is so buttery smooth, and they're not like bad. It's not like I'm playing a Nintendo 64 graphics game on my Switch. It's just a little like just blurry at some points or chonky. But wow, that game is really fun, and the battle pass is pretty cool. You know, you get like cars, special cars. You get like special decals. Is that how you pronounce that?
Yeah,
Decals. And wheels, and
the little fire streams out. Those are my favorite. I love the little jet streams, the rocket streams.
Yeah, they actually had. I think the event is ending in like 2 days, but they actually had, thanks to it coming to Epic. I don't know if I mentioned this. They had a Fortnite event in Rocket League.
Oh,
which I thought was so cool. I actually beat it. I think this is what got me into playing it again. As I logged on, I saw this event and I was like, I want to do this. But if you go through all the things, beat all the missions, you get the Fortnite battle bus as a vehicle. Yeah. So like, I don't play Fortnite. I don't like Fortnite, but I was like, that is so cute. It's like a little baby battle bus that you can play as. So I did all the missions and I had a blast doing that.
So I always forget. So the Rocket League cars, their model does affect their collision with the ball, right?
I don't think so.
So like,
it
if
makes
I have a
sense.
big, like, if I have like a flat-faced truck versus like a smoothed over car,
yeah,
doesn't that affect, like if I flip my car forward and hit it with the edge of my headlight or something, doesn't it go a different direction depending on my car? Isn't it accurate to the character model of the car?
I don't know. I would think that they wouldn't do that, because then there'd be like this weird meta of like the best cars.
That's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of like, it's cool that they have these cars, but if I was a hardcore player, wouldn't I just like find the car with the optimal angles, and that would be like the car I use?
Okay, I Googled it, and Rocket League has an official support document called Rocket League Car Hitboxes, and the way that they do it is they have hitbox categories. So I guess they do have different hitboxes. Like, here's the breakout hitbox, and here's like 7 cars that have this hitbox.
That hitbox.
And
That's
here's the Dominus hitbox, and there's like 25 for this one. Yeah, wow, so there's just like hitbox categories.
Okay, so you have archetypes. You have car archetypes. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good way to do it, because that way it can still match your car. It's not like it's always the same, but that way you don't have like, oh, well, this slightly curved hood is a little bit better than this slightly curved hood.
Right.
And you couldn't play. It's that problem when you get into games that have a meta where you go to like a tournament and everyone looks exactly the same because they're all using the optimal cars.
Yeah. But another cool thing, like, you know, Switch has the Luigi car and the Samus ship. On PlayStation, you get Sweet Tooth from what is that even from? Do you know what that's from? Twisted Metal, yeah, which is really cool. And I just learned this from this document. On Xbox, you get Armadillo and Hog sticker. I don't actually know what those are.
Yeah, I have no idea.
But yeah, just I think that's cool how they have console exclusives that still can be seen.
Do they never put a warthog in Rocket League?
What do you mean,
like
a warthog?
The Halo vehicle. How have they never put a warthog in Rocket League? I've got to look this up.
That's a good point. That would be a good Xbox exclusive.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what the hog sticker is?
Yes, that's what the hog sticker is.
Oh, no way, dude. That's awesome.
Yes, it looks a little bit different, but it's basically a mini warthog. Okay, cool. That makes me feel a lot better.
Okay.
That's perfect.
What's the... Oh, okay, and the Armadillo looks like Gears of War.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's so cool.
That's very fun.
So that's been fun. I'm happy you downloaded it. Glad to hear that you downloaded it.
Yeah, I mean, last time I played it, I just played the copy I've had on Steam forever. It keeps getting updated. I keep having to update it on Steam.
Yeah, probably like bunch of, you know, with them launching on Epic, bunch of things they need to fix now that they added
free-to-play stuff.
Yeah, like you have to have an Epic account no matter what device you play on, which is very strange, and I realize that upset a lot of people, you know, like logging into PS4 and it's like, hey, to keep playing you need to make an Epic account. Like, who cares if you're on PS4? Make an account, and if you don't have one, we'll make one for you. Like, you have to make one to keep playing.
I think it depends on how they enforce that, though, right? Because it's like, there's some place like the Oculus one. I'm a little bit weirded out on when I get my Quest 2 here in a few weeks because I need to connect it to a Facebook account. But Facebook is very weird about alternate accounts, and they will shut down fake accounts, and you will lose any purchases made on those accounts.
What?
So I was like, I thought I was going to be fine, and I was like, I'll just use an alternative Facebook account so that way I'm not like linking my entire personal life to this Oculus headset. But now I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm still figuring that out. So like in that situation, I can get why people are really mad at Facebook for doing that. But in this situation, it's not like Epic is demanding that you give them a social, right? Like just throw in, like everyone should have a burner email. Just throw an email in there, make a stupid Epic account.
Burner email.
Like, yeah, like
that's awesome.
Don't make a big deal out of it. Just make an email address, make an Epic account if you want to, and now you have an Epic account. Boom. That's all you got to do.
Log online every week to get those free games in case you ever get like a PC one day.
You should have already been doing that. If you're listening to this podcast, you'll know what amazing stuff they're giving away.
You so right.
Indeed. Now, there was another game that I believe the listening audience has been teased about with this episode that I know you've been playing.
Yeah?
Do you want to...
you're talking about Baldur's Gate.
I'm talking about Baldur's Gate.
Oh,
What's
you're
going on
talking
with that?
about Divinity 3. I mean, Baldur's Gate.
Tell me something about this Dungeons and Dragons, Jordan.
Ooh, boy, Baldur's Gate is fun. That's all I have to say.
Okay, that's it.
Next topic.
Oh, well, there's some people who read the tweet that are going to be very disappointed.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So impressions on Baldur's Gate 3. I will say, with the new trend of companies being like, this is early access, and like you play it. How do I phrase this? Basically, it is in early access. I went into it like they're just calling it an early access, but it'll be like a complete, first chunk of the game. Mm-hmm. It is definitely early access. I'm talking, which is totally fine because I bought an early access game. I'm playing an early access game. I was just, I didn't expect it to actually be early access. So if anything, I'm just like more grateful that they were willing to put it out there in such an early state. Like I'm talking like animations some people will just be like, not moving at all while they're talking.
That sounds amazing.
It's cool. Or like I found a really cool like bottle with a mysterious creature inside, to not spoil it too much. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is amazing. I'm going to open this and let the creature out. And so I click on it and it just cuts to like the bottle just floating in air, like clipping through a stone, and like no one's on screen. And I'm like, I feel like there should be like an animation here of someone opening it.
And there's no model of the bottle being opened.
It's just a bottle floating, not even my character doing anything. It's just floating in the air. And then it just poofs to the next screen and there's a monster. And I'm like, oh gosh. Oh yeah, early access game. But despite that, I oh my word. It's so much fun. It's if you like Divinity, it's like more of Divinity.
Well,
like,
Divinity Original Sin specifically, right?
Yeah. Divinity 2. It's definitely like just playing it. You can be like, oh yeah, this was made by the same people.
Yeah,
which is great because Divinity 2 is great. So it's just learning a lot of D&D 5e things. I know our friend Kyle knows more about D&D than I do, with him being a dungeon master and everything.
Friend of the podcast, Spooky Ghost Kyle. I believe
and I heard him talking to someone else. Was it you or someone else? He was mentioning that there's a lot of differences in like some of the classes, which of course I wouldn't have picked up on because I don't know anything about D&D.
I think specifically, I've seen this on both some D&D subreddits and from what he said, that they made some tweaks to the ranger in particular, which the ranger out of the book for D&D is kind of, for 5th edition, famously a little bit useless in that some of its features are very situational, and if you don't ever encounter those situations, it feels like they're less powerful than all the other classes.
Oh, okay, so it's like they made it viable.
Right, they changed those 2 features that aren't very useful and gave them some new stuff.
Okay, I like that. I was thinking it was under like I don't know what I was thinking, but just like I was kind of bummed to hear that they had changed stuff and not like kept to the 5e, but that seems like a good reason.
And that's like an in-joke among people with 5th edition, is that the ranger is like so bad because of those features. And there've been 100 different attempts at fixing the ranger. That's like a joke. And so this is just Larian Studios deciding to take it into their own hands to fix the ranger and make him better.
Well, that's cool. Yeah. So I don't really know what else to say other than it's amazing. I'm really looking forward to its full release. I'm probably going to play through Act 1 multiple times. Kyle and I have yet to play together, but I know he's playing on his own, and he has a playthrough with his girlfriend. So, yeah, it's wonderful. I love it.
Cool. So I normally, when I hear you guys like running off and playing a game like Divinity Original Sin 2, or like when you're playing Star Wars Squadron, or all these games that you're getting to play, and like I'm interested, I want to play them at some point. I don't have the time right now, but I usually feel like just a little bit of that fear of missing out, of like, man, I should jump in there and play that. That sounds really fun. But I gotta say, knowing that it's just Act 1 and they're changing it a lot and it's really early access makes me feel immensely better, because I'm like, you know what? I'm not in a rush to play it right now. In fact, if it was really good right now, I would feel like I'm missing out. But as it stands, I actually don't feel like I'm missing out. I feel like I'm going to get a better experience for having waited.
Yeah.
While you're plenty happy with the experience you get now, and you're excited for what you get next. So I think it's just good all around. Until you started talking about the weird bugs, now I'm like, that sounds actually really fun. Like, I might be missing out on some of the goofiness that arrives from all the weird early access, like, oh, look, that dragon's T-posing as it comes in here. Like,
yeah, no, exactly. It's a lot of just like awkward thing. Or sometimes you're talking with someone and the text just turns into cutscene not done yet, and they're just like staring at you, and I'm like, okay, and I'll hit next, and they'll be like insulted that I said something, and I'm like, I don't know what I said. What did I say? They're like, you really have the guts to say that to me? And I'm like, this conversation was going fine a second ago before I hit next.
It's like, instead of 4 dialogue options, it's just 1.
Yeah, and then I hit next, and then they get mad. I was like, oh, well, early access.
Wow, that's hilarious. Man, I kind of do want to go in there now. That sounds funny.
Well, you could always try it on my Steam copy, but like I said, I think it'll be lots of fun when it does come out officially to be able to play. And I had mentioned this before. Like, I wanted to wait for you to like play it with. But knowing that it was only Act 1 that was coming out, I was like, oh, I think, especially with it being an early access copy, where it's like, I'll definitely want to play through it again when it's done. So when everything works the right way.
Have you seen their comments about how early access has gone for them?
I've read their like the patch notes comments. Is that what you mean?
I don't know if it was in patch notes or if it was a separate article, but I saw an article pop up that was saying that they were super surprised at the response and how many people had bought it.
That's so weird to me. Yeah, Steam broke when it came out. I was on the dot. I downloaded it and I got in immediately. I was so happy. And then I heard that Steam started breaking and no one could download it. And I was like, yes, I was sitting there playing it.
But yeah, apparently what Larian Studios themselves said was that they were, because their previous games, Divinity Original Sin 1 and Original Sin 2, both of those were, at least the second one, I don't know about the first one, but they were early access and they changed a lot. Like Divinity 2 changed, so Divinity Original Sin 2, I'm sorry. I'm being so specific because there are games called Divinity 1, Divinity 2. But Original Sin 2 was changed so much that there's actually a classic version and a definitive version, and they like changed fundamental things about the game engine, so you can't play an old save on the new game engine. That's how much it changed. And so it seems like they were expecting a similar experience where they have like this niche, very popular for hardcore RPG players game that then improves, and then once it's like done, the world at large grabs it and is like, oh, this is amazing. Right,
when it comes to like console and stuff, and people can just hop on and download it.
And Divinity 2, super popular. It started small, grew, came out in definitive edition, people loved it. Came out on console, people loved it. Now it's on freaking, I think, iPhone and iPad soon, right?
Yeah, iPad pretty soon. iPad soon. Yeah.
And it's like, that's a mainstream game at that point. And then they're like, okay, so they take the developers who did that, everyone who loves that, and then they combined it with one of the most popular franchises of all time that is only becoming more popular in the last like 5 years with all of these D&D streamers and podcasters and everything. And it's like, you're right. I don't know how they didn't expect it to be that popular, but I guess they were expecting it to be like their previous games, and instead it's selling like crazy and it's barely done. So you get all these people that are expecting Divinity Original Sin 2, and they come in and it says cutscene not completed yet. And they're like, guys, we were being honest when we said it wasn't finished. Like,
yeah, exactly. They had like the main Steam banner was all Baldur's Gate. They didn't like rotate or anything when it came out. So
Right.
I don't know how you can like do something like that and not expect people to be like, oh, what's this? Like, let me try it out.
And Baldur's Gate itself is popular outside of Larian Studios.
Yeah.
Like, even Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, people loved those games. So to say Baldur's Gate 3 is out, like, of course people are going to go nuts.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I will say I'm also learning a ton about D&D, being able to play it like as a game. I'm learning about bonus actions and spell casting and upcasting spells. Like, oh my word, I've probably learned more from this past week of playing Baldur's Gate than this year of playing D&D with you guys.
You hadn't been playing for a while, and you came back in as a guest this past week, and you were much more proficient with your various abilities and spells.
It was crazy that I'm just like, I know all this stuff. It like makes sense to me now that I've like interacted with it on a screen in a game.
Welcome to the world of a sorcerer, Jordan.
It's wonderful. I love it. And one thing that I am really looking forward to Baldur's Gate 3 is the multiplayer aspect, because I have some friends who like to think about their turns for a long time, and that's an issue with me in real life D&D because I get real bored having to wait 15 minutes between turns. Maybe that'll still happen in Baldur's Gate 3, but I like how in Divinity 2 Original Sin you could do a bunch of stuff. You could move, you could do like multiple actions. Yeah,
it's all these action points.
Exactly,
so
you had action points
however you wanted.
But because Baldur's Gate 3 is actual like D&D, you got an action, you got a bonus action, and you got movement. Like, your turn for each character will be like 10 to 15 seconds long. Like, it is boom, boom, boom. It's like constantly going. Yeah, you still have to like sit and think about what you're going to do, but like what you can do is so limited already to where I'm looking forward to be able to play with people and not just be like, okay, it's my turn. I'm going to like get out my Switch and start playing a different game now until I wait for it to be my turn again.
Right. And that's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy, because as people get disinterested in the game in real life, like a real life D&D game, as they get disinterested, they start doing other things, and then they're less aware of what's going on.
Exactly.
So then they take longer to do
like,
the turn.
But like, what else are you supposed to do? Because sometimes it is boring just listening to other people be like, I'm gonna, I should.
How far is that?
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, let me look this at 5. Okay, 10, 15, 20. Like,
I've honestly thought about like asking for us to try a turn timer in real life, to say,
oh, that's interesting. Like, if you don't do anything, that's it. You're too bad.
Yeah, like your character didn't have the reaction speed to do
what you wanted
to do, or something like that.
That's funny. Yeah. So like, I understand people get bored. Like I said, I get bored. But then it's really sad when someone's like, I think it was Sam. Sam was like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that about something." Do you remember what that was? Something happened, and Sam's like, "I attacked this guy," and they're like that guy's not there anymore.
That was the episode where Sam was falling asleep during the last half
Oh,
of it,
okay. Yeah, he was falling asleep.
Yeah, I summoned an ally, and he thought it was an enemy.
Yeah, that's what it was. And it's like, like I don't blame him for falling asleep, because he does something and then he has to just sit there for
Like
a long time before you can do something else. And which is a bummer for me, because the combat is my favorite part of D&D, and it's
very well thought out.
Yeah, it takes so long. So yeah, Baldur's Gate 3, so good. I'm really looking forward to playing through it with Kyle if we ever get around to doing that. Our schedules are not meeting very well.
Your schedule is hard to meet with a lot of people right now.
My schedule?
Yeah, I mean, we're not really playing that much stuff together.
Yeah, I'm not playing
podcasting together.
I haven't played oh, hold on. I think I played Baldur's Gate like 2 or 3 nights this week on my PC, and like I had no time for any other PC games, just because most of my games I'm usually out of the house or doing other stuff or working, which is a bummer.
Alrighty, before we get too long in the tooth on the games, we are going to talk about some gaming deals and go over some questions and answers. Is there any last minute topics you want to hit on before we jump into that stuff?
I could do a very quick, fast news roundup. Smash Bros. Steve's coming out on Tuesday.
Steve,
super exciting.
I should buy the second DLC pack. I haven't done that yet. I don't have Min.
Oh, sadness.
Yeah.
Pokemon DLC is coming out next Thursday, and this is not maybe we can keep this short. Let's assume we can. Daniel, they announced an item called the ability patch. Have you heard about that?
No, but based on the fact that you're telling me this, is this the one item in the game I mentioned that they needed like 6 months ago where it lets you get the hidden ability?
It is. Yep. It's officially coming to the Pokemon DLC pack number 2. It's called the ability patch. It just straight up gives them their hidden ability.
Okay, there you go.
There you go. That's it. That's all I have.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
I'll say on the Smash Bros thing, I was thinking about like, man, do I really want this new DLC pack? Like, Steve would be cool, but I'm also not really playing it that often anymore. I ended up taking it to I'm in a leadership role with some youth at the church, so I had a bunch of like middle schoolers and high schoolers, and we did a event night where we just hung out and had fun.
Oh,
and so
that's
I brought
cool.
The Switch. First time I got to take my Genki dock out of my house and use it somewhere.
That's awesome.
Dock worked like a charm. It was awesome. I even plugged in the little USB GameCube controller adapter, and I had 8 people playing Smash Bros. It was great. I'm a lot better than a bunch of middle schoolers at Smash Brothers, as it turns out. I love that Smash Brothers has modes like the timed mode. Like, I only ever play stock because that's what I'm used to. But you're in a group of people that like don't even know not to run off the edge and die, and like everyone has fun the whole time, and everyone's like, and yeah, I might get 10 points while everyone else has -3 points, but we all got to play the whole time and have a good time.
Oh,
right?
That's a good point. That is a good point.
Smash Bros is wonderful for that. Like, Smash Bros is a great game that you can have 8 people playing. No one knows what's going on because there's items and there's Pokemon and there's final smashes. Oh my gosh, if you turn the final smash meter on with 8 people, it's just final smash after final smash, and the whole screen is blowing up and everyone's screaming.
I love the meter that goes automatically. I always play with that on. It's
super fun. So yeah, shout out to Smash Bros. Not many people have heard of it, I'm sure, but
it's a very niche game.
Yeah.
I'm having friends over on Tuesday because Steve comes out on Tuesday. We're having a Smash party.
That sounds fun. Except you can't go online with more than 4 people, right?
No.
Dang it.
Yeah, believe me. If we could play 4 players on my console and then have you join, I would have told you about it. But you can't. Thanks, Nintendo. Woohoo!
Whoa.
Yay!
You just need to have a tournament at your house, and the winner of the tournament faces off against me.
Honestly, I kind of like that idea. You might end up getting a text from me on Tuesday being like, "Hey, do you want to play against Judah?"
I think I have a Heroes of the Storm match on Tuesday. We'll see.
Oh well.
Alrighty. Was that it for the news roundup? We're good to go.
Yeah.
On to our
speedy news roundup.
Deals. Cool. Deals are going to be pretty simple this week. If we talk about where you can get a lot of the games we're playing. Genshin Impact, free to play. You heard me talk about that for like an hour. So you can go download that straight from their website on PC or from any app store on smartphones. The Epic Games Store every week will have new free games for you to check out. When we say free, it means you can just log in, download them, own them for life on that account. No strings attached. And this week, up until Thursday the 15th, you can get Abzu and Rising Storm 2 Vietnam. I would suggest getting Abzu. That's a super awesome game. You've heard us talk about how great the game Journey is. It's those same people, but it's like an underwater version. Very chill, very relaxing. The upcoming games starting on October the 15th on Thursday, you will be able to grab Amnesia, A Machine for Pigs, which is the second Amnesia game, and also a game called Kingdom New Lands. I don't know this one personally, but I did look a little bit into it, and it's like a 2D, like on a flat plane 2D, not like top-down 2D, but 2D on a flat plane town builder game that also looks like it incorporates maybe some defense mechanisms, like your town's getting attacked by monsters and stuff like that. So
that's fun.
It's free for you to check out starting this week on Thursday. And Rocket League's free, like Jordan said, if you're interested in that one. Now, there are a couple other subscription services that give away free games if you are subscribed, like Xbox Games for Gold. We talked about those before. There's the Slayaway Camp, Butcher's Cut, and Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy. Then PlayStation Plus subscribers can get Need for Speed Payback and Vampire for the month of October. We went over those at the beginning of October last week. Going forward, I don't think there's anything new for the monthly. It's really just the Epic Games. The Microsoft Game Pass for PC, as a reminder, this month it has already gone up to $10. So I was subscribed. I actually paused. I didn't pause my subscription, but I stopped the reoccurring charge just before we did this podcast. So when I went and checked, here's the thing. When I went and checked, it still said your subscription is for $5, but I looked it up online, and the next time it bills, it would have shifted to $10 for me.
Yeah.
Which I think is a little weird. They should have probably shifted it on the subscription page already to say $10, because it says previously you paid $5, your next charge is $4.99 on this date, and I knew it wasn't going to be $4.99, so I turned it off. Apparently for a short period of time there was a glitch where if you stopped your auto renew, there was a way to manually extend it by a certain number of months, and that extension was using the old price. So if you caught that, I was trying to do that before we started our podcast, but it's not working anymore. They have changed that, so the extension is the $9.99. It's the new price. But if you were lucky, you could have actually extended it, I think, like a long time by just buying packs of like 3 to 6 months.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad I missed out on that, because I was sitting there thinking I haven't played anything on Game Pass except for like Double Kick Heroes in a month or two, and I'm still paying for it. Do I really need it? And I was like, man, but I'm going to get my Oculus in like a month, and I'm going to want to play Flight Simulator. I don't want to buy it. So. Yeah. But then I was like, do I really care about Flight Simulator that much? And you know what? I don't know if I really care about Flight Simulator that much. So
fair enough. Yeah.
I think I'm just going to save 90 gigabytes on my hard drive and and $10 a month out of my bank account, and I'm going to pause that Game Pass for now. But they added Forza 7. That's what I wanted to say.
Oh, is that a new Forza? I don't think so.
I've lost track, because they have the Forza Horizons and the Forza other series.
2017.
Yes. Forza Motorsport 7 Standard Edition is now on Game Pass for PC.
Which one am I thinking of? What's the one that had the Lego expansion? Gran Turismo? Is that what that is?
No, that was Forza Horizon. So Forza makes 2 games. They make a simulator style game called Forza Motorsport, and then they make a more arcadey racer called Forza Horizon.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So Forza Horizon's a little bit less realistic and more just for fun. And I believe that one of those had the Lego. Yeah, Forza Motorsport would not have a Lego DLC. It's very much like we are simulating the wind streams off of every curve of your car. And
if only.
your brick car is very not aerodynamic at all.
Yes, they just use the physics if it was actually made out of just plastic bricks.
You accidentally tap another car, you just fall to pieces.
I would love that. Yeah, Forza Horizon 4 had the Lego Speed Champions.
Yep. That'd be hilarious.
That was so fun.
So those are the deals that I was able to see. Jordan, you caught a deal for a free game that went out earlier this week, and you tweeted about it, right?
Did I? Oh, yeah. Sonic Adventures 2?
Wait. Which one?
No, Sonic something 2.
Was it Sonic Adventure 2?
No, it's a real cheap game on Steam. They just marked it down to $0.
Is it still there?
I think so.
What Sonic game are we talking about?
Did you see the tweet but then not read the tweet?
I was notified that a tweet was made. I was not in a place to read the tweet, and then I forgot because this world.
Oh, well, let me head over to at patient_players at Twitter to see what that tweet was. Yeah, you can get Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for free on Steam.
Oh, just like the Genesis game, Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Yep.
Awesome.
There you go.
Is it still free right now?
I don't know.
Okay. If we do find stuff like that midway through the week, we will post about it when we find it, and we want to shout it out. So you can follow us on Twitter.
Yes, it is. Still free.
You can connect all those things patientplayers.com/social. If you go to patientplayers.com/social, you'll have links out to everything you need to follow what we're doing, and we can shout out when those deals happen.
Mm-hmm. In fact, Sega, I believe it's Sega. Yeah, 60th birthday of Sega. So they have a massive Steam sale. Like Sonic Mania's $5. Total War Warhammer
explains why Total War Warhammer is on sale. I noticed that it's like 66% off.
Mm-hmm. Endless Space 2 is only $10. A lot of really good games at low prices.
Sweet. Sega sale on Steam. Go check it out.
Sega sale.
That will bring us to the best part of the podcast, which is the question and answer section of the podcast.
Q&A.
Send us these questions over at patientplayerspodcast@gmail.com. Please do. It helps make the podcast great with your questions. They can be about video games. They can be about life. They can be about anything you want. Patientplayerspodcast@gmail.com. patient_players@gmail.com. You can also submit questions over on the official Patient Players Discord channel. That is patientplayers.com/discord. That will invite you to the server. If you've never been there before, if you've never used Discord, doesn't matter. You can still go to patientplayers.com/discord and find out about it there. We are often using that Discord for hangouts throughout the week. You can subscribe to be notified when there are streams, when there's a new podcast, or when we're interested in hanging out and playing certain games, like Among Us has been a popular one recently. So head over there, ask your questions. We've got a few questions for you this week. Jordan, will you take us away with our first email?
I will. This one says, "Hello, patient players. I only have one question for you today. If you were to make your own Mario game with no copyright penalties and whatnot, what type of game would you make and what would it be about? For example, a Mario-themed obstacle course, like the obstacle course on Wii Fit." From Totally Not a Hacker, Miranda. I feel like that ending implies that it was that Keaton like hacked into her email and then just sent an email.
That is weird. Yeah.
Totally not a hacker.
Or that Miranda is learning how to. Maybe our email is just super easy to hack at this point. We should really get that checked out.
Maybe we just need a more secure password.
Well, I mean, what is it?
Our current password?
Yeah.
Password 123. I don't.
Oh, you know what? It's got the numbers on it. I don't know if they'll be able to get that one.
Yeah, it's a capital P too, so that's why it said it was secure when I typed it in.
We should do 2 because it's patient players. You see what I mean? And you'll
2
remember.
what? Like 2 1 2 2? Oh, P patient player. Wait.
Yeah.
Anyways, your own Mario
this is
game.
A really good question.
What type of game would you make and what would it be about? Your own Mario game. What genre has Mario not already taken over? I was thinking about this earlier this week. Why was I thinking about this? Like Mario has Paper Mario. You could call that an RPG. It has the 2D side scrollers. It has
literally
the 3D
Super Mario RPG. That is a video game.
Yeah, there's that. There's Mario is in so many different genres. Mario Kart, a racing game. Mario Party games, mini games. Like what genre has Mario not popped into?
I've got 2 for you.
Okay.
I've got 2. All right. Imagine you open up a video game, type in your name and password, you log in, and it loads up your character sheet of your level 80 Mario Warlock. And you log into World of Mushroom Craft.
World of Wario.
World of Wario. And like you've got like your so you need tank, DPS, and healer. You're the holy trinity of MMOs, right? So you're gonna have Bowser up there with like a full suit of armor with like a dry Bowser insignia on it, and he's taking aggro. You're gonna have Luigi in the back, firing his bow and arrow.
Luigi in the back. Wow.
All right, so there's my first idea.
What's that called again? Massively online multiplayer?
Massively multiplayer online role-playing game, MMORPG.
Okay. Wow. I need my answer depends on what your second one is, because I also have 2, but I assume one is what you're about to say.
MMORPG. MMORPG. It could be called MMORPG.
There you go. Wow.
There's the podcast title if you want one.
MMORPG World of Wario Craft.
Okay, so if we're on the same wavelength here, my next one is just going right down the line of Blizzard games.
But which line? That my brain did that too, but it went 2 different ways. Oh no! Now I can do 3 different ways. Oh no! Now I just need a first-person Mario. I need a MOBA Mario, and I need an RTS Mario.
I was thinking RTS. I was thinking the double cherries. I was thinking you have a Mario just running in circles around this double cherry, and you just get this horde of Marios that you just click drag, and then you send them towards the bad guys, and you just have all of the Koopas and all the Marios clashing.
That would be the Mario versus Donkey Kong series, or like March of the Minis, where they're like the little toy robots.
Yeah. Oh, you could do a March of the Minis RTS. You could totally do that.
That would be. That's funny.
My goodness.
Because you mentioned the World of Wario Craft, and my brain instantly went to first-person shooter and MOBA.
Wait, why first-person shooter?
Because Mario needs a first-person shooter.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
And a MOBA?
That'd be amazing. And a MOBA, of course, because everything needs a MOBA.
Oh my gosh. I would probably end up being a lot like the Pokemon MOBA, right? Like We're getting some great suggestions in the live stream, by the way. So during the question and answer section, we do take questions live from the Twitch chat over at twitch.tv/patient_players. And boy, oh boy, a Bayonetta style fighting game with Waluigi. I know I would play that. I would 100% play that. I don't know if I'd want the whole thing where his clothes come off the more he fights, but
yes,
all the rest of that I would take.
I need it. Yes.
There's also someone who just said Grand Theft Mario, and I feel like that joke's been made 100 times.
That's good.
Oh my goodness, what a great question. Thank you very much for that. Totally not a hacker, Miranda. We appreciate your email.
Wonderful.
For our final email, we have one more than likely from our reoccurring emailer, though. Hold on, I think I've cut off the signature. No, there is no signature.
Oh,
all right.
I wonder who it's from.
Give me a moment here. I can tell by the IP address. This is going to be from one of our friends from Kay. So Kay, longtime emailer, sends us all sorts of logs of his wonderful adventures, but he's had some other people writing in for him recently. Let's hear what this one has to say. It's entitled June. It says, "Dear Diary, it is me again, Alicia Morha." I feel like that's a name that someone gets you to say as a prank over the phone, but I can't tell what it's saying.
This is the chick who like went to Alice in Wonderland land, right?
Oh, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Alicia Morha. It's been some amount of days since my last entry, and I must say my travels through this strange place have been quite, well, strange. I couldn't find my way out of the room that I had fallen into other than a small door that looked as if it were more fit for a mouse. I had just about given up on escaping this place when another strange question appeared on the magic hand mirror that I had found in my last entry. This question said, "How do you imagine that games will change in the next 50 years? I don't just mean graphics and the amount of content, but also how we play them and what services we play them through, or perhaps what kind of gaming trends will be more popular." The mirror said that if I answered the question, a way out of the room will open for me. I told the mirror, well, while I can't say I completely understand the question, I do hope they will have more games than chess and Quidditch for me to play in the future. As soon as I answered the question, my body suddenly began to shrink, and before I knew it, I was just the right size to fit out of this tiny door.
Chess and Quidditch. Oh, that's awesome.
Quidditch chess would be the ultimate game, though, if you really think about it.
So, I mean, Pong came out in 1972. That was
less than 50 years ago.
48 years ago?
Yeah.
Goodness, games have changed a lot since then. They're still on a 2D screen, mostly. So some are in, I guess, a VR is still 2D screens.
They're 3D screens.
2D screens for each eye. Like, I almost want to say my answer is there's like no way of knowing 50 years with looking back at the last 50 years.
Right.
Like, no one could have looked at Pong and said, oh yeah, we're going to have 3-dimensional games. Mm-hmm. We're going to have virtual reality headsets. There's like, it's not even possible. Like, what?
You sit down a Pong man from the 80s and you show them Genshin Impact and their brains just explode.
On a phone. Like, pull out your phone. Here, play this game.
Oh, by the way, I also downloaded this out of the sky for free.
Yeah. For $0.
And yet it's going to cost me more than the game that I bought.
Yeah, that's crazy. 50 years? Like, yeah, what is technology going to be like in 50 years? Like, what new technology is going to come out? Is everyone going to have like the treadmills for VR? Like, is that finally going to be a cheap enough thing that people can buy?
I think that if we are going to be like pie in the sky, like what the world could contain. I don't want to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy. I think that dedicated PCs and consoles will go away in 50 years.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That like if network infrastructure continues to grow the way it's doing now, that's honestly, I don't think people realize that the network infrastructure, like wireless infrastructure, towers and cell signals and stuff like that, that's one of the biggest bottle caps we have right now. Once that gets expanded, which will take a long time and a lot of money, a lot of effort, and for a lot of first world countries like America specifically, it's really bad in a lot of places to get good internet. But if you had really solid, like, I think that's why people are talking about the 6G stuff really changing the world. Because if 6G or something down the road like 7 or 8G, if that eventually does become ubiquitous everywhere you go, everyone has super duper fast internet with no restrictions. Mm-hmm. There's no reason to have any processing done locally ever.
Oh, yeah. So just all remote.
Yeah,
streaming.
like today there are people who don't own computers because they do everything on their phones.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be that, right? It's going to be I have my personal device, my phone, and everything is that, right? And the screen size doesn't matter because I can pull it up to my face and I'm in VR with like a super high resolution screen and I can see as big of a screen as I want to, right?
Oh goodness, imagine VR headsets in 50 years.
Right.
They
That's
are
what
going to
I'm
be
saying. Like,
crisp.
I think that technology will move so entirely into this like streaming thing. And right now it's treated kind of like a joke. And I think it for a lot of people kind of is because people who are serious about games know that it's always going to process better locally.
Mm-hmm.
But like but also like people know that old school analog video signal gets to the screen faster than digital, right? Like
Yeah.
HDMI is slower than composite, but that hasn't stopped anyone using HDMI because the difference got so small and insignificant that it stopped mattering. I think that's
Unless you're like a pro person at a tournament who brings their old tube TV.
Right. Like you or I don't really care about the lag that an HDMI cord introduces into our system. And so like I think that gap with streaming is going to get small enough that it's still going to be there, but it's not going to be important. It's going to be like a side issue. If wireless internet gets to the point where I think it should and it will really change the world. So I think that's the biggest change to internet. Like picture how different it is even from like 5 years ago for like sitting down, booting up a game on a PC, logging in, playing it, and then getting off versus like, oh, I pick up my phone and I'm playing Fortnite and then I multitask switch over and now I'm playing Genshin Impact and they all are connecting instantly. My character's standing in the same place doing the same thing because it's all saved on their server. It's all done through their phone connection. And like, imagine that, but with every game, right? Like, let's go full Ready Player One. I'm going to throw on this headset. Boom, I'm back where I was in my Oasis rig, right? And like me and you are going back to hanging out, and it doesn't even have to be like at home. I'm just going to do that in the middle of nowhere because I have perfect 6G internet on this device.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
You heard it here first. Invest in Xbox streaming. What's their streaming thing called?
xCloud.
Invest in xCloud today. Invest in Stadia. So the Google one. That's probably the worst advice.
Don't invest in Stadia. No one should invest in Stadia.
I was like, oh no, I take that back.
They just announced a new one this week. Did you see that? Amazon's Luna.
What? No way. What?
Yeah, Amazon announced they're doing a streaming service called Luna.
No. Cloud gaming service. I could see myself, because my internet is really good, like plugged in with an Ethernet cable. Yeah. I could see myself trying out one of these one day and liking it. Like, especially if like it runs really well and like the good frame rate and everything, like why not?
You could do that Game Pass Ultimate and try out xCloud. The thing with Luna though is you have to remember that Amazon also owns Twitch. So it's going to be real scary when it's like, oh, hey, you guys, you 90 million people who are watching this game on Twitch, you really like it. Click this button and boom, you're running it in a browser.
Oh, wow.
The exact same game. You could even do like, boom, now you're like, we literally copied the memory out of the streamer's computer and now you're picking up where they left off, right?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
That's really cool. It's cool, but it's a little scary because Amazon's already a bit of a monopoly and now they're going to have the streaming as well.
Wow, it's only $6 a month for early access pricing.
For Luna?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Not that they have any games that look good on it. Yeah, and they have Twitch stuff on the page for Luna. Like you said, get more with Twitch. Go directly from Luna to go to watching on Twitch, or go other way around.
Well, in the meantime, while we're waiting for the world to get there, we will continue to be our patient players. Thank you for joining us for this week's podcast. We will see you again.
We're going to be absolute. We're going to be obsolete, not absolute.
Obsolete.
They're going to be they're making patient players obsolete.
Hey, there are always going to be chances to wait to get better deals on things, all right?
No,
all right?
not if games are all streamed in the future.
Well, that's if they give them all away as subscriptions.
Okay. Okay. No. Yeah. But, well. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You know, there's going to be a place for us.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Sorry. My bad. Thanks for listening, everyone.
At worst, you can still hear me talk about Heroes of the Storm every single week, so that's cool.
Yep. When the development team is down to actually just 2 people.
Thanks for joining this absolutely non-obsolete podcast.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week, episode 54. Join us on the weekend for the live stream. Catch our episodes out on Monday. And patientplayers.com/listen. You can follow us on all the various social media sites. You can join us on the Discord, hang out throughout the week. And you can email us, as always, at patientplayerspodcast@gmail.com. Thank you, lovely listeners. We love you. Have a great day.
See you guys.
Bye.